Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer to Buzzer. All right, today we're going to start off a new series in which we're going to be predicting the 2020 NFL records for each NFL team. Now, we're not going to be releasing all 32 videos at once, but eventually we're going to get through every team. And today we're going to start off with our hometown team, that being the Chicago Bears, and do a game by game analysis of their 2020 NFL schedule and decide whether they can win enough games to make a good postseason run, or even if they can win enough games to make a postseason run at all. So, without any further ado, let's load up the schedule. All right, guys, let's begin by analyzing the 2020 NFL schedule for the Chicago Bears. The first game is going to be an away game in which the Chicago Bears will visit the Detroit Lions. So, guys, Abi, I want to start off by listening to what you got to say. Is this going to be a dub or is this going to be a loss?
Okay, so not being a Bears fan, and I'm trying to be as unbiased and realistic as possible. I think this is going to be a win for the Bears. You guys went 2-0 against the Lions last season too, and I just think that the Lions are always just a really inconsistent team. I don't know for sure if you guys are going to win, but I think that the odds are in your favor. So yeah.
But you're talking about inconsistency, right? And I would have to pick the Lions, except every year since 2014, the Bears have lost the Week 1 game just because of how inconsistent they are going into the game. They can't pick a plan to go with, and it's been like that for 6 years now. I think the Lions are going to surprise the Bears and beat them here.
Yeah, I have to agree with Harsh. I was just about to point that out. The Bears suck in week one games. And no matter who the opponent is, they always find a way to lose. So I think the trend is going to continue and the Lions win this game.
Well, I think that trend is going to be overturned. And Abi, I appreciate you taking the side of the Chicago Bears in this one because we got a new quarterback, we got a new system in place, and I think that's going to be enough to get us the W. But just to be fair, so we got a 2-2 count, looks like. All right, well, let's move on to the second game. The second game being in which the New York Giants are going to be visiting the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Guys, what do you think is going to happen?
Bears dub. It's a
Yeah,
lot. It's the
Bears
Giants.
dub.
Yo,
Who are they playing? The
Yeah.
Giants.
exactly.
They're not great of a team. So yeah, Bears.
Exactly, guys. There's no discussion. I don't think even needed. The Chicago Bears, with under Nick Foles, we're going to make some new records, and hopefully they're going to be good ones. Well, let's move on to the third game. That being in which the Chicago Bears will be visiting the Atlanta Falcons. What do we think is going to happen?
I think that the Falcons are going to win this one. I think that they're just have a better offense, and I'm not even sure that Nick Foles is going to start the first couple games because when we talked with Chad, he was saying that Nick Foles might have to be held back to play because if he doesn't do well in the second half when he starts, and it doesn't look good to bring back Trubisky. So I think Trubisky needs to play a couple games first in the season, and if he doesn't do well, then Nick Foles will be handed the QB job. So I just don't think that the Bears are going to win this one.
Speaking of inconsistent early teams, the Falcons have shown the past years that it takes them a while to get in their groove, and I think the Bears edge them out here in a very tightly contested win.
Yeah, I think the Bears do win this game. I think the Falcons defense is very, very bad. And I think at this point, I hope that Nick Foles is the starter. Um, but yeah, I do think the Falcons, just because of their defense, they're probably going to lose this game.
Yeah, exactly. 100% agree. If Nick Foles isn't here by game 2 against the Giants, he'll for sure be here against the Falcons, considering what we've seen from Mitch Trubisky in the past. Well, let's move on to the fourth game. That being against the Indianapolis Colts, and it's a home game. Harsh, what do you think?
I think the Bears beat the Colts here. I think the Bears have a strong enough defense to shut down that Philip Rivers-led offense. And the Bears offense will put up some tough points and, again, edge out a close win against the Colts at home.
No, I disagree. I think the Colts are going to win this one. I think that they're just a team that's going to be better next season. And I think that they're going to beat the Bears.
I don't want to sound like too much of a homer here, but I also think the Bears win this one too, just because no one on the Colts offense scares me enough. to the point where I think they can beat the Bears defense. And I think even if the Bears offense can't score enough points, I think they can completely shut down the Colts. And so I think the Bears will win this game.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
think for the Bears this year, that's where a lot of games are going to be won. The defense shutting down the offense enough for the slow offense of the Bears to put up some points. That's enough.
Yep, I totally agree. I think that's what's going to happen. In the fact that although our offense might not get rolling the first couple of weeks with a new quarterback and everything shifting around, our defense has proven to be solid over the past couple of years. And under the leadership of Khalil Mack, I think that our defense can trump any other offense, at least in the Colts in this sense. Well, let's move to the fifth game. This being, although in home game at the Soldier Field for the Chicago Bears, against what's looking like a Super Bowl contender with Tom Brady, Mike Evans, and Rob Gronkowski, that being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is going to be a close one, guys, but in my opinion, I'm going with experience over anything, and that being Tom Brady. It sucks to say this, but I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to edge this one out, and it's not going to be a close game. And Rob Gronkowski will score multiple touchdowns, and it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys are gonna say the Bears, you're just like lying to yourselves and just being biased. The Buccaneers are gonna just murder the Bears. I already know this. I think everyone knows this. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree. I think I expect this to be a blowout. I just don't think anyone on the Bears offense comes close enough to the Buccaneers offense. Even with the Bears' great defense, the offense has to do well, and I don't think they're going to be up for that fight.
As Bears fan, there's one Mitchell Trubisky memory we hold close to heart. His performance against Tampa Bay a few years ago. Except this year, it's going to be the exact opposite. Tom Brady is going to torch the Bears, not on defense, but even the offense, won't be able to score against that defense, and the Bears are definitely going to lose this game.
All right, guys, let's move on to the sixth game of the 2020 NFL season for the Chicago Bears. This being an away game at a Cam Newton-less Carolina Panthers. Arian, what do you think is going to happen?
I think here the Bears will win this game. I think same thing with the Colts. The Panthers offense really only has one player in Christian McCaffrey, and I just think that the Bears defense can shut them down to the point where the Bears offense can score enough points to barely edge out and win this game.
Matt Rule is a culture changer, but that culture change takes a few years, and this is the first year in a Panthers rebuild that will make a very strong team for the future. Bears win this one.
Yeah, I can give this one to the Bears. I really don't see the Panthers winning anytime soon. Like in this next season, I think they're going to be a team that's pretty lackluster in terms of their offense. And yeah, I see the Bears winning this one.
Yep, same. I believe that the Chicago Bears will edge out, not by a large margin, but enough to get past the Carolina Panthers, and it shouldn't be much of a problem considering the upcoming schedule they have after this game. All right, guys, let's move on to the seventh game of the 2020 NFL season. This being against past Super Bowl contenders, the Los Angeles Rams. Arian, you want to start off?
Yeah, I think this is also going to be an L for the Chicago Bears. I think going on the road to Los Angeles with a high-powered offense, I just don't think the Bears can get it done here.
I don't really see what's high-powered about that offense. I mean, Cooper Kupp and Jared Goff. I mean, last year showed that they were kind of figured out. And with the loss of Todd Gurley, is that offense really what it used to be? I think the Bears are able to hold that offense down and put up some points, which is good enough to squeeze out a dub.
No, I have to agree with Arian on this one. The Bears aren't going to win this one for sure. I just think that the Rams are a better team, and the Bears always find the way to not win games.
Well, I don't think that's a strong enough reason, man. I think that we've seen the lackluster team, and somehow they made the Super Bowl under Sean McVay's belt that 2 years ago. But I believe that the Chicago Bears are going to be able to easily take out the Rams, especially considering that they have lost key assets like Todd Gurley. I think that's going to be an easy game, but only time will tell. All right, let's move on to the eighth game of the 2020 NFL season. This being against a Drew Brees-led New Orleans Saints. Guys, although I believe in my Chicago Bears a lot and have given the edge over a couple of teams in the past, I think that Drew Brees is going to edge out the Bears. And unfortunately, this, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, is going to be a blowout.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they stand a chance against the Saints offense. And even though they do have a good defense, I think the Saints offense is one of the best in the league. And even their defense too. They're just a well-rounded team in general, and I think that they're going to get the dub.
Yeah, exactly. All around, the Saints are better. You can even argue they're better on defense, and so I just think the Bears can't get it done here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real debate over who wins this game unless somehow Mr. Trubisky or Nick Foles is having an MVP caliber season. It still might even then be a contested game, so the Saints win this one.
Yeah, exactly. And considering that the New Orleans Saints have added juggernaut wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders.
Bro, like, why are you in love with Emmanuel Sanders? Like, what
Man,
did he
I
like
don't
pay
know.
you
We
off
talked
like
about it
LeBron? Like,
from the first episode we've talked about in this episode on this talk show. I believe that Emmanuel Sanders brings a lot of value to a team, man. I think he's gonna improve and shut all the haters like you guys up this season.
But you act like he's some sort of like Michael Thomas or DeAndre Hopkins. Like he's like not even like
35,
a tier 4 receiver.
Well, firstly, he's not 35 years old, and let's move on to the next game.
That's right. LeBron's 35.
This being the 9th game of the 2020 NFL season against the Tennessee Titans. Guys, what do we think is going to happen here?
I think you guys are going to lose this game. Come on, okay, Ari, don't give me that stock expression. Come on, what did you think I was gonna say?
What?
I think Derrick Henry is gonna blow through your defense.
No.
And I think Ryan Tannehill, he's gonna start all year next year. I think he's gonna be in a hot streak. And I think Titans are gonna beat the Bears.
Yeah, this is completely wrong, man. Look, okay, he's not gonna blow through our defense. We have Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, Akeem Hicks. He's not gonna do that well against our defense. Plus, I don't think Ryan Tannehill. I think he's gonna regress this year. I think last year was kind of a fluke, but we've never seen that happen in his career before. And so I think Ryan Tannehill regresses. Their defense got worse. I think the Bears win this one.
You know, we've talked a lot about defenses figuring out offenses, but I think with the Bears' offense not being that strong and the Titans' offense mainly running through Derrick Henry, I think we could get a tie here. I think the Bears and the Titans are going to be so contested throughout the whole game. It's going to go into overtime. Maybe a field goal is macked back and forth, but I think this game ends in a tie.
Wow, okay, that's adding a whole new category. But I think that although they got the juggernaut, Derrick Henry, our defense is way too good to be afraid of a man like Derrick Henry. No, not to take anything away from him. He's a great running back, one of the best in the running backs maybe in the league right now. But I feel like the Chicago Bears defense will be enough to trump any talent which he brings to the field that day. All right, so this is giving us a weird win-loss count, but harsh going with the tie. Well, let's move on to the 10th game of the season, this being against the Minnesota Vikings, led by the highest-paid player in the NFL, Kirk Cousins. What's happening here, guys?
I think, the Bears are I think Mitch Trubisky is 4-0 against Kirk Cousins in his career. And so I think this is I think the Bears blow out the Vikings here, especially after losing key defensive players and losing Stephon Diggs. I think the Bears easily win this game.
I don't agree with that. I think that the Vikings are going to win this one. Kirk Cousins is, in my opinion, no, I don't think he's garbage. I think he's at least top 7 QBs in the league.
Whoa! Top 7 QBs in the league.
Yeah, and
that's a big.
I think he's gonna beat the Bears.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins is a top 7 quarterback in the league.
That's the dumbest take I've heard on the show.
Even more than the LeBron is 35.
Even more. Yeah, exactly.
No. I think although Abi has a point, but I think I wouldn't say in the top 7, but I think top 10 for sure in the league. A bit overpaid for what he's doing, but I would love to see him put on more of a show. He's a heck of a player, and the stuff he does outside of football as well is not to mention amazing. But talking on the field, just on the field, I think the Chicago Bears will be able to get the dub on this Vikings team, considering, like Arjen said, they lost on Stephon Diggs. It's going to be harder to replace that kind of talent, and I'm going with the Chicago Bears in this one. Well, let's move to the Mecca, the game, the rivalry. This is the game of the season, which we Bears fans look forward to, and we love it when we can win this game. That being against the one and only, the Green Bay.
The Bears are getting slapped.
Whoa!
It's not going to even be close. The Bears are going to get slapped this game. This is going to be like we're going to be coming off hot, I guess. If you guys say they beat the Titans and the Vikings, they're just going to get slapped by the Packers. It's away at Lambeau.
Oh, chill, bro. Okay.
Late November, they're getting slapped.
Oh, I think this coming off hot. I think you guys are going to be on a losing streak. And even worse when you lose when you verse a great team like the Packers, I think they're just gonna get slaughtered. There's no chance. Like, yeah, they're just better in every category other than defense.
I
don't
think the Bears. I think the Bears win this game at Lambeau. Look, hear me out. So, okay, first of all, you can't say that they're away because there's going to be no fans, so it doesn't matter. It's just straight up they're on the field. The Bears are used to the cold environment, so climate's not a factor. The Packers' defense last year had one of the best turnover ratios in the league, and we all know turnover is random. They were 6-1 in 7-point games or less. That's not going to happen again this year. The Packers were one of the worst 13-3 teams ever. I just don't think. I think the Bears with Nick Foles at quarterback. Last year, the Bears almost won with Mitch Trubisky as quarterback. So I think with Nick Foles at quarterback and the addition on defense, I think the Bears pull out this win.
Although I love the Bears, I'm not sure where the NFL, the whole stance with the COVID-19 situation going on is going to be with the fans. And fans might be allowed, who knows, by the end of the season. However, that's why I'm not going to take the risk, and I'm going to say that they're going to lose this first matchup against the Green Bay Packers. All right, next game being against the Detroit Lions. It's a home game. Abi, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Lions are gonna win this one. I think Matthew Stafford is gonna come in clutch, and I think you guys are gonna have some struggles against teams like the Lions because, as I said throughout this whole video, the Bears are really inconsistent, and you never know who they can beat, who they're gonna lose to. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Lions.
You were talking about being objective towards the Bears. I feel like us all being Bears fans, you not being one, is really adding a little bit of salt to your flavor.
Yep.
Really leaning towards.
Okay, I gave the Bears the win week 1, even after
Wow.
Consistent. So it's not biased.
Generous of you.
It's just facts, and you guys are just being delusional as Bears fans.
Whoa, okay.
It's not called delusion. It's the Bears won against the Lions twice last year. They beat the Lions twice the year before that, and they're going to do it again this year. The Lions are just not a good team. That's it.
Exactly. End of discussion here, guys. Not much to discuss. And the Chicago Bears are going to take this one. If we're going to say that they're going to lose week 1 because of inexperience and a new team, by this time around, they'll be ready. Next game. This being against a DeAndre Hopkins-less Houston Texans. Guys, what do we got going on here?
I think that statement just proves what's going to happen this game. I think the Bears are going to take it. What is on that Houston offense to, be rivaled, I guess, by the Bears defense? The Bears defense will shut them down. The Bears will put up, 10 points? Good enough to get the win there.
Exactly. I completely agree with Harsh on this one.
As Chad said in 2 videos ago when he was talking about Deshaun Watson, and he said that he might win MVP this 2020 season. And I have to agree with that, and I think that also makes the Texans a better team, and I think that they're going to beat the Bears even without DeAndre Hopkins.
No,
MVPs can lose games.
No, although DeAndre Hopkins, we have discussed, maybe a bit overrated, I think that the Chicago Bears will be able to take this one, and especially considering they don't have DeAndre Hopkins and there's going to be some tensions within the team, I feel like that this is going to be a win for the Chicago Bears. Well, the third to last game, this being against the Minnesota Vikings, guys. We discussed this previously. Are we going to keep up the same record, 3-1? Are we saying it's going to be a dub?
Yeah, I feel like Mitch Trubisky is just too strong against the Vikings, and if Nick Foles is here, I think it just increases our odds depending on how they play. I think the Bears take this one.
All right. Well, Let's move on to the second to last game. This being against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What's going to happen here?
Okay, the Jaguars are a really bad team. And I think after losing many good players, I think that the Bears are going to win this game.
Yeah, the Jaguars will be tanking for a good pick.
Exactly.
So I think we should steamroll them.
Yeah, they're going to be in hopes for getting that Trevor Lawrence #1 pick. But, who says we're not? So let's move on to the last game. And this being at Soldier Field against the Green Bay Packers, guys. Can I get a 4-0? Are we going to win this game?
No. I think it's going to be a very contested matchup. I think it's going to be for the division title. The Bears and the Packers are going to be very close, 9-6. And this is going to be for who wins the division and who gets that 6th or 7th spot in the playoffs. Yeah. And I think the Packers come out on top of this one, too. Bears still make the playoffs, though.
Okay.
That's definitely wrong. I think at home, we're going to clap Aaron Rodgers. He has no weapons besides Devontae Adams. this is an easy win for the Bears once again.
Yeah, that's where you're wrong, and I have to go with harsh. That you guys are going to lose this game. I'm going to go even further and say you're not even going to make the playoffs.
Whoa. Okay, let's not take it that far, my man. I think that we're gonna. I said we're not gonna win the game at Lambeau Field, but at Soldier Field, we're gonna be ready. This is the last game of the season. The hype's gonna be there. It's gonna be for the division title, and we're gonna steal it from the Green Bay Packers.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Stay tuned for future episodes, and we're going to be talking about different teams in the NFL, and we hope that you enjoy this video, and comment below what your favorite team is and how you think the Chicago Bears are going to do in the 2020 season. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.